Okay, so for our first milk culture or ferment, we are going to go ahead and make regular plain yogurt. Now, just to let you know that anybody can start this. What you want to get from the grocery store is plain yogurt. Smaller the better. Only costs $1. If you take care of this, you will never have to buy this again. You can use the last little bit of your regular ferments of your what you made, the little bits at the bottom, to create another big jar of yogurt, and it can be continuous. So if you, like I said, if you can take care of this once, this is a one-time buy. Now, first things first, we're going to go ahead and start with, I'm going to make a half a gallon of yogurt. We use a lot of it in salad dressings as well as regular eating. So we'd use a lot of this. So I'm going to get half a gallon of milk. You don't need raw milk. You don't need whole milk, but use the milk that you like. I find that for us, whole milk, it makes a better yogurt. Store-bought is fine. If you can find it raw on a farm, even better. And you want to bring this up to 185 degrees. You want your thermometer, okay? You want to do it on a lower heat than normal. You don't want to put it on high because, or even medium. Medium is too much heat because of the fact that it can scorch the bottom and actually alter the taste of the yogurt. So that's going to take some time. So I will be back whenever it comes to temperature. Okay, now that it has come up to temperature, you want to turn everything off, leave everything alone, and wait till it cools down to where this becomes lukewarm. Very crucial to do that. Now that this is cooled down, what we're going to go ahead and do is finish this up. This is really simple. I'll go through it step by step. Okay, so what you want to do is that you want to open up your yogurt. And you're going to take 1 spoonful, or the whole thing, doesn't matter. You're going to go ahead and add it to the jar. You're going to mix it in a little bit. Now you want like a cloth or something on top of this because it is going to release gases and you don't want those gases to actually permeate in the jar. This is not an anaerobic process, so it does not need to be under the brine because we are changing the entire liquid. So you want to go ahead and put your cloth on. This is an old cloth that I have that I keep washing. I'm trying to find new ones and I can't. This is cheesecloth. Put a rubber band around it. Now, I use a heating pad. Some people put it in the oven with the light on. No temper, you don't turn the oven on, just the light, because you don't need it that hot. An oven, it gets too hot if you actually turn it on to its lowest setting. Some people use a dehydrator. If you have one big enough, I don't. Mine is one of those circular dehydrators that you can't put anything large in. So I am using a heating pad. This heating pad does not have any, does not auto shut off. It's an old heating pad too. So you can tell, that's been well used. I need to make a cover for this. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I actually have this wrapped around, tied off, and we're going to turn this on to medium heat for about 8 hours. And we'll come back and visit it after 8 hours, check to make sure it's done. And that's it. We'll see you soon. Okay, now that it's been 10 hours, we're going to go ahead and check the yogurt and make sure that it is finished. So we're going to take this off, put this to the side. Okay, and let me show you this. Now, I don't know if you can see this too well, but it is solid. It is definitely solid on the top. And what you want to do is you want to get a spoon, you want to go towards the center, and you want to make sure that it's not liquid. Sometimes if it's not done all the way, it'll be solid on the top and on the sides, but in the middle it'll be kind of liquid. But that is done. That is 1/2 gallon of yogurt that you can use in recipes or just to eat. Okay, now that we're done with the yogurt, what we're going to go ahead and do is work on the sour cream and creme fraiche. Now, creme fraiche is also a cultured milk. It's kind of like a non-sour version of sour cream, and has more of a sweeter taste to it. Now, I wasn't able to find the starter in the store, but you can buy these. Okay, they're little starter packets that you can rehydrate, and you can get online, not affiliated. And follow the instructions. Okay, this one says use 1 quart of pasteurized light cream or half and half. What I have here is half and half, warmed up in a jar. Same process, 180 or 185 degrees, cool it down to where it doesn't kill the bacteria. And what you do is that you put a little bit of the starter in the cream at a certain temperature at like 80 degrees. Let it rehydrate for a few minutes, and then you're going to add it to the jar. And now this process is going to take 12 hours for 1 quart. So it's going to take a little bit longer. And same thing with, and now with the sour cream, we're going to do the same thing that we did with the yogurt. We're going to take our store-bought sour cream, and we're going to go ahead and add it to another quart jar, because we're going to make some recipes with these. Okay, so first things first, let's go ahead and stir this up a little bit. Then we're going to go ahead and add it. It's a little full. That's fine. Gonna be very careful with that. And the sour cream. Take a spoonful, add it to the jar. Notice I'm using 2 different spoons. You don't want to cross-contaminate these. Okay, same difference. We're going to go ahead and put cheesecloth on the top of these. Put the rubber band on and keep these warm. This will take about the same time for yogurt, about 8 hours. This one's going to take a little bit more time. And we will see you in about 8 hours for the sour cream. Okay, it is the next day. So things happened. We finished up the creme fraiche and the sour cream. So, and we are going to go ahead and make dinner with this, with the sour cream at least. Now the creme fraiche did separate a little bit. It's a little bit bright, but it is done. We're going to put this and the sour cream back in the fridge. Okay, the sour cream did separate a lot, but if you stir it up or drain it, either way, you'll have nice sour cream. Now, there are cheeses that you can make with this. If you strain this into this or the creme fraiche, or even the yogurt, in a cheesecloth and let it drain, let the whey drain as much as possible and let it solidify, that actually becomes a cheese. Each of them have a different name. I don't have that information with me right now. We'll get into that in a later episode. But I'm going to go ahead and keep the sour cream out because we're going to go ahead and make some food with this. And put this in the fridge. Be right back. Okay, so today we're going to be making a taco bake. I'm going to make some, I'm going to be combining some regular beef, ground beef, with some of the ground pork that I did the other night. And we're going to go ahead and make some taco meat. I don't drain the fat off of this. You don't have to if you don't want to. For this, I really don't. It doesn't matter if you do or not, because that fat is going to add to the diet. Animal fat is actually good for you, despite, you know, what the sugar industry wants you to believe. So what we're going to go ahead and do, so once it's about halfway cooked, we're going to add our taco seasonings. I made this myself. We'll get into different types of seasonings whenever we get into dehydrating. It's not the season right now, because we're going to start dehydrating and making seasonings with the garden. Maybe with some store-bought stuff. And the regular stuff like salt, pepper. You're going to use that fat and the moisture from the meat instead of adding water to this and let it all boil and cook down. We're going to actually just let the natural juices in this meat and the seasonings to complete this, because this is actually starting to give off moisture, which we can use. Now this is really easy. First thing is you're gonna go ahead and do is, after this is all nice and cooked up, doesn't have to be completely cooked. Turn that off. Okay. You're gonna put it in the pan. You're going to coat the bottom of the pan. It's okay if this is a little bit raw, because it's going to cook in the oven. So let's go ahead and put that up. You want to preheat your oven. $350. These are sweet bell peppers, you know, the little tiny mini ones that you stuff with like cheese. I cut them up into rings. And we're going to go ahead and put that down. It's kind of like a taco lasagna. You're going to go ahead and put a handful of cheddar cheese. I'm using Sharp on top of that. Two handfuls. Now, I've got some hatch chilies that I canned, some cactus that I canned. We're going to use some crushed tomatoes and some black beans. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. And if you want to add rice, you can. I'm not going to, because we can add rice later. Okay, there's the hatch chilies. Let's go ahead and drain the cactus. If you're wondering where I got the cactus, I bought it. Already pre-cut, already pre-cut up, cleaned up. I'm not going to mess with that. Let's go ahead and open these, drain these, and add them to the top. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add the beans. You don't have to add beans if you don't want to. And the crushed tomatoes. And another handful or two of cheese. Or 3. Now, initially, you want to go ahead and cover this and put it in for 35 minutes for about 30 minutes, or 350 for about 35 minutes. Then you want to take the foil off after it's all nice and melty. You want to kind of brown the top if you want to. For me, I'm not going to, because I'm not serving this as a dip. I'm going to go ahead and serve this as a, as you can use this as a dip for chips or celery or anything else like that. I'm actually making this as a meal. After that, after everything cools, you can add guacamole and sour cream to the top and any other condiments that you want on here. Okay, and now that it's done cooking, we do have our taco casserole. Got all the melty cheese, burger on top, on the bottom, all that yummy goodness. Smells wonderful. All you need to do is you can have your Mexican beans with this, or Mexican rice with this. You can have a salad with this, or you can just stuff this into tacos, like, you know, tortillas or the crunchy tacos. You can just use this as a filling. I am going to go ahead and put some of this in a bowl. And then you can add guacamole, whether you make it or not. Store-bought's fine. And then put some of the sour cream on top. Then you have dinner. You have a good night. See you next time.